Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world and whenever you are tuning into this video. My name is James Porcelli.
I'm Brian Thomas, also known as Thunder Tits.
Thunder Tits, and welcome to
I'm
another
gonna keep that
edition
going,
of.
baby.
Hey, listen, freaking, it's catchy. I'm not gonna lie, it's catchy. It's just like you never thought that Thunder Tits would freaking work. Shout out to
It
Tony
works.
Storm if you
It
guys
works.
don't know. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Ruthless Talk podcast. Happy Tuesday. Thank you.
Welcome back.
Yes. If you guys have not caught our last episode was our Money in the Bank review. I want to give a shout out to Owen, who was a part of that
Yes,
review.
sir.
Thank you so much for being a part of that. It was a great time once again having him back on the platform. So again, it is on all of our platforms right now, talking Money in the Bank, talking R-Truth's return, talking about the tag match, talking about both Money in the Bank winners for both the men and the ladies. So all of that is on our platforms for you guys to go check out. And as of today, we got Monday Night Raw to talk about. At least there's something to talk about. Whether it's good or bad, we'll discuss it and we'll go over it. We'll dissect it, as we had a big world title match and a big title change that we also are going to discuss for this Raw review. So without further ado, man, we're going to dive straight into it. There's a lot to discuss here. So why don't we start right from the jump? We start off the night with John Cena, the Invincible Man himself, the greatest of all time, all the names that announcers now say every time that he comes out.
Right.
So John Cena comes out and he mentions R-Truth. He actually talks about R-Truth, saying, the truth is a lie, and saying the fact that, his biggest accomplishment was pretending to be me. So throwing some digs at R-Truth, more on
And the
R-Truth
comedic
later.
jobber,
Yeah, being the
route,
comedic jobber.
Yeah.
Exactly. So he throws a few digs at R-Truth. Again, we'll talk more about R-Truth later on in the show. But then John Cena, once again, he starts counting down the dates. He's like, listen, we started off at 36. Last time we checked, it was 27, and now it is at 19. 19 dates that John Cena has left in his retirement tour. And he's talked about beating everybody's bests, including Cody Rhodes, R-Truth, and Randy Orton, and all of these people. He's running out of competition. And out comes CM Punk. CM Punk comes out, and he kind of like is playing, let's say, the corporate babyface in a way, even though he said it himself.
Yeah, I can't go corporate. I mean, I got some thoughts, but yeah, I can't go that far to say it's corporate. But I see what you're saying.
Fair enough. So, but he comes out. But he's playing like the heavy babyface shtick. He's talking about how he's fighting for everybody, right? He's like, I said, I'm not fighting for TKO. I'm not fighting for all these businessmen, but I am fighting for these people that you turned your back on. To where he also mentioned Elimination Chamber. When he saw his own two eyes, John Cena, how Seth Rollins stomped his head in the canvas, interfering in that Elimination Chamber match, locking him in the STF, and how he was screaming, "I'm sorry." So he's like, dude, what you're doing is just wrong. What you're doing is just complete bullshit. He issues the challenge. Like, listen, if you are the real champion, or you say what you are, then you would put that championship on the line tonight. He talks more about the title, as far as, that title turned me into a monster. But in order for me, to get that title off of you, I have to become that monster. I have to defeat the monster that you are also becoming, which is John Cena. And John Cena, he's like, yo, you want this match? Best in the world versus the greatest of all time. He's like, let's do it. But not tonight, not in Phoenix, Arizona. Instead, he lays out the challenge for Saudi, for Night of Champions. I believe that is June, somewhere at the end of June. I'm forgetting the exact date, as I'm going to look up my calendar here. That is June 28th, as I believe that's on a Saturday. So June 28th, which is legit, guys, like 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks.
Legit 2 weeks. So, and it is official. John Cena versus CM Punk at Night of Champions in Saudi. So once that challenge was made, Seth Rollins comes out with his briefcase, with J&J Security, or I'm sorry, freaking Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker looking like J&J Security, with Paul Heyman in tow, and he's reminding them, hey, I'm the guy that's got the briefcase. I'm the guy that holds on the power. So you gotta, make sure you're looking over your shoulder once or twice every single week. So that's pretty much, again, the gist of kind of what we assumed how this segment was gonna end, pretty much. So, and that's pretty much it. I mean, you can look at this matchup several different ways, right? You can think like, all right, we've seen John Cena's best, we've seen CM Punk at his best. It's probably better off to not give them, I guess you can say, the full-on spotlight to do this, let's say, at SummerSlam or another big event.
Right.
So you could say it's no harm, no foul, which is why they did Randy Orton versus John Cena in frickin' for Backlash in a St. Louis, to where, let's face it, these Night of Champion events, these Backlash, these Money in the Bank pay-per-view events, they're all B-level pay-per-views. I mean, let's just be honest, to kind of build, to have some sort of build because of all of these damn shows to get to these blockbuster events like a SummerSlam or Survivor
pay-per-view
Series
or a PLE every 2 weeks. How are you going to build that shit?
Exactly. So, and then you can also look at the other hand to where, like, oh, it's, John Cena, it's CM Punk. These are still two big names, right? Where they have so much history. They're really good on the microphone. You can really build a good story. So, I mean, you can look at this situation many different ways. But what's really, I guess you can say, catching headlines as far as this situation, and that is CM Punk. CM Punk, to where he is now going to be officially having this match in Saudi. This is his first ever appearance in Saudi, to where not too long ago, Brian, CM Punk had some very choice words to say as far as WWE at Saudi. I think this was back in like 2020, to where I think it was The Miz who made like a tweet, or I think was like tagged in a tweet or something like that from Saudi or whatever. And this was CM Punk. And I quote, I think it was WWE on Fox and Miz was like in the picture or something like that. And this was CM Punk. This was back in 2020. He says, and I quote, he says, "Go suck a blood money covered dick in Saudi Arabia, you fucking dork." That was CM Punk, and I quote. So clearly CM Punk is not a fan as far as, I guess for the people that kind of, people like The Miz, to where, the Miz is a company guy, right? He'll do anything, this, that, or the other to be the company guy to, Brian, like you say, put your bootstraps on and do what you're told to do, right? And let's face it, though, CM Punk by the day, because now that he's back and maybe he's had a clean slate with a lot of people like Triple H and others. So where now you're starting to see CM Punk is starting to become more of a company, dare I say, corporate guy. Am I saying that's who he is in full? No. But as far as you can say that CM Punk, at least that's what a lot of fans are trying to say, is that it's very hypocritical for you to now say these words that you did years ago, and then now you wipe the slate clean with WWE, and now all of a sudden you say, oh yeah, I love competing in Saudi Arabia. I love everything about Saudi, this and this and that and the other. So a lot of people are, let's say, calling Punk, again, hypocritical for this entire situation as a whole. So Brian, I know you have some words to say, so I'll let you start. Obviously, of course, this matchup being made for Night of Champions, as well as CM Punk and his history, I guess you could say, for people in Saudi, as well as Saudi shows in WWE. But what are your takes on that?
I got a lot to say about it because I don't see it that way at all. And I know. So I haven't heard, unless I'm wrong, and correct me if I'm wrong. Like I know I'll get into the promo here in a minute, but I haven't heard Punk say anything, positive about going to Saudi. I mean, he hasn't made any statements like that, right?
No, that's the thing. He's mentioned about loving the idea of going to Saudi Arabia, which is why, I think that was comments that he made, I think shortly after when he returned to WWE. So that's why, Brian, that people are saying that he's hypocritical for things that he said in the past, to where what he's saying now as far as, being in Saudi Arabia, for getting that quick paycheck in Saudi Arabia for guys like The Miz who are company guys or things like that and the other. So that's pretty much it. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll I'll say a lot about that. Because and I'm going to tie it into something else too. And like our last podcast when we started and got into our truth, I said, man, professional wrestling, it mirrors our reality. It does if you pay the fucking attention. What was John Cena saying last night about back in the billionaires? I'm telling he's going to lean into that, right? He's going to lean into that and this heel gimmick, right? What the fuck is going on in real life, real time? And to connect it to the Saudi thing, yeah, I think Punk really feels that way. I do. And I also think, and you saw the promo, what is kayfabe anymore and what is real? It's hard to tell. But if you looked at John Cena's face when he said, "Yeah, I'll do it, Night of Champions in Saudi," and that's the only time, like, look, it's no secret that, like, I don't think Cena and Punk really like each other. Triple H and Punk, you can say whatever, but look, this is your one show. You want the title match? Here it is. Take it or leave it. And what are you going to do?
Right.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. But and I was going to say that to this whole promo back and forth with Cena. I'm telling you, look at real life in reality, and whether Punk is out there as a gimmick, if he really genuinely means it, or if it's all for show. Right now, that's fucking needed. To point back at the people and, to say, no, all of you, Stone Cold, The Rock, you go out there, like, are you telling me you've dreamed and your dream has been to perform for Triple H and Nick Khan? No, it's for the fans. And until we fucking remember that, man, I'm sorry. Like, Triple H, Nick Khan, Tony Khan, ain't a motherfucker alive that has earned $1 billion, let alone multiple $1 billion. So until this whole fucking thing changes, I'm telling you, man, read between the lines. And John Cena is now going to lean into this corporate, I'm with the billionaires and fuck you people, fuck what you say. And somebody else that's returned along with Punk. Yeah, man, that's real life outside of wrestling. And man, I'm just saying for wrestling fans, what would it be like if we were part of that catalyst, right? Because this is bullshit. Whether they brought R-Truth, Ron Killings back or not, Tony Khan, Nick Khan, Triple H, all of them. One day we're gonna eat the rich. So I say all that to say I know that's a lot and a lot deeper. But yeah, a pretty good promo between the two, and yeah, that's where Cena's going with this character. And I don't know how I feel about it because it's mirrors real life. Getting back into this John Cena run, like we all like all these matches, right up until the end, and up until Survivor Series, they're all in a way gonna be anticlimactic, right? John Cena's gonna retain the title, like we know that. Like Punk is not especially at a Saudi show. So yeah, this is gonna, it's gonna drag out. So it's somewhat anticlimactic, but it depends on what you do within that ending of the match.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's again, you can look at it many ways as far as like, oh, it's still Punk and Cena. They're still two big names. This deserves more of a bigger feud, or the fact that you can look at it and say, oh, it's no harm, no foul. I mean, you look at CM Punk as far as like, even in the prime of his career, and I'm going to get into to Kairi Sane as she was in a matchup with or in
It
a
looked
fatal four-way match
fantastic,
for this
man.
Queen of the Ring tournament. Like, bro, like, I mean, CM Punk, it's no secret to where this guy tries to do the Macho Man elbow from the top rope and it looks horrible. And now to where, like, nowadays, like now when he's 40
It's not
plus
great.
years
Never
of
been
age,
great. Yeah.
it's never been great. That's my point. To where,
No.
like, it's
No.
never been great. And now the fact that he's even lost another step or two
Sure.
in that ring, to where you even look at Cena, and we said it in the Money in the Bank review just a couple nights ago, to where, like, clearly Cena's lost a step. He's like shouting out every single freaking spot.
God, Cena, come on, man.
It's
you can't be this 2 decades in and can't do it another way. Come on,
yeah.
dude.
So clearly, it's a way to, all right, let's give the people what they want, but let's put it on a lesser stage to where we're not gonna, I guess you could say, risk of these two, because again, you have a guy in John Cena, both of these guys nearing almost 50 years of age now, to where you're not gonna go back, you're not gonna have these two perform the same match like they did in 2013.
No.
I think this was like the winner of, was a number one contenders match. The winner faces The Rock at WrestleMania 29. That was probably the best match as far as, like, just, Punk has had a lot of other good matches in WWE since he's came back, but at least in that tenure, that was the last really good CM Punk match that I saw, along with this matchup with The Undertaker WrestleMania 29. So, again, it's, I'm not going to go overboard and say, oh, this should have been at SummerSlam or bigger event. I mean, not really, because I don't know what I'm getting as far as the matchup itself. Now, granted, someone like Randy Orton and John Cena, they did pretty well for what was given to them at Backlash, but at the same time, like, you can't, you got to at least rationalize, like, all right, do we want to be ballsy and give these guys the floor on a grand stage, but we're also at the same time really risking the fact it could go sideways. Exactly. So yeah, and as far as the buildup goes is concerned, I mean, granted, I mean, listen, I like Cena. Again, never been the biggest fan of John Cena, but I've liked John Cena. I definitely am somebody that is trying to definitely take in these last several dates that he is here, as well as CM Punk. CM Punk's not going to be here for much longer either. So every time Cult of Personality hits, I'm soaking that shit in. I mean, CM Punk is, outside of maybe a handful of others, is honestly your biggest top star in that company right now. And that says a lot about this company for a guy that's over 40 plus years old. He's your biggest top face out of everyone else outside of Roman, who's never there. Cody Rhodes, I guess, probably is number 2.
Yeah.
And that's really it. I mean, you got LA Knight, who should have been given the Rocket 2 to 3 years ago. We'll get some more of LA Knight, of course, maybe later. He actually was a part of the show last night, believe it or not. So yeah, man, listen, it's CM Punk with the morals and everything about Saudi. It's just like, people will continue to talk about CM Punk and his, I guess you can say, his, what's the word I'm looking for? Just who he is and how he holds himself as a person or as a human being. But as far as, again,
if it was, I would have preferred as a fan, like, yeah, man, like, okay, he's not winning the match, right? He's not beating Cena, so he's not getting another title run, right? No. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of the deals or how he even really personally feels. Yeah. But if it is like, for me, like, I know why I would say thanks but no thanks. Like, I would assume, I mean, CM Punk has enough money to live comfortably.
I'm sure
I don't need to go there to get another whatever. Right. I would prefer not to associate and do business with him. And yeah, I wish he would maybe stand on that. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah. That's money fucking rules the world.
Right. Exactly. So, I mean, listen, this segment overall, people are going to fricking, they're going to go online and they're going to fricking, or fricking, like, praise this to the high heavens and say that this was the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's Punk and it's Cena. Guys, it was okay.
Oh, and the match and I mean, Yeah, it's going to be hopefully again because we don't know, how they're actually going to show up and perform. I hope it's a good match.
Hopefully,
they've obviously entertained us for decades, but no, this doesn't deserve a main event at WrestleMania or SummerSlam or
yeah, and I think we can all agree with that now. And then you got Seth Rollins too. Again, he's teasing this briefcase. I mean, guys, like this whole thing with Seth, and again, shout out to Owen. Again, he mentioned it just in our last episode. It's just like, what are we going to see that we haven't already seen before with Seth? The same thing that we've done with Seth with that briefcase 10 plus years ago with J&J Security.
Might
and with
I
the
say,
Authority.
too, arguably the best cash-in ever. So you're
Right.
never going to fucking top it.
No.
Ever.
And it's
that
just
was
like,
probably the best cash-in ever. Yeah.
Absolutely, it's up there.
Yeah.
It's definitely a debate for a discussion for sure.
Yeah.
But it's just like, like I just don't understand what people are going to expect. Like you're just gonna get a bunch of boring ass promos about Seth Rollins, like, here's all the power, because he talked about it in a promo just a couple nights ago or just a couple weeks ago about winning that briefcase, how it's bigger than a championship and all of this stuff, right? To where he's just gonna pander around with it, say the same promos in the same monotone in the same way. Like, guys, how is that fun? I just for what?
Like, I can promise you this, man. Like, even unless it's the last match and Rollins cashes in on Cena, he's not cashing in on Cena. I don't want to give it. The two current champions, he's not cashing in on either one of them. Like, so.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing, right? It's just like, so if this is going to be a failed cash in, then again, this is back to back. Because correct me if I'm wrong. Last year was a failed in cash in, correct? From Drew McIntyre.
Oh, because it was Drew, yeah.
So again,
so did he?
Yeah, no, it was Drew.
Or was that 2 years ago when he like cashed? He won it, but then I'm getting. He only had it for like 5 minutes.
No, that was the world.
That's when he won. Okay,
that's when he won the world title. And Priest cashed in on him. That was WrestleMania 40.
Right.
And then Drew McIntyre had the briefcase, and I don't remember when he cashed it in, but he cashed it in,
right?
And it was just to further along freaking the Punk feud. And I'm just like, why are you using that as a prop? So I swear to God, Brian, if we're just using this briefcase to where you could be giving this to somebody that
LA Knight.
Yeah.
I mean,
right?
damn.
I mean, why is this so hard to do? It's just, but that's Triple H for you, dude. Triple H, he even said it himself. He just does not like booking this briefcase or trying to book it on somebody that just needs it. Oh, let's just use it in a storyline because I don't know who the fuck it should be on because I don't know what to do with this briefcase when it's on the motherfucker.
I mean, for 3 years running, it should have been LA Knight. One of the 3 years.
Absolutely. I could have said it was 2013, 2023, the first time he was in
the
it.
first time.
So when he was when he was fucking white hot. But you give it to Damian Priest. He won the world title. It failed miserably. That experiment failed miserably. And you want to know how I know that? Because now he's back in the mid card to where he should have been this entire time to get himself.
Speaking another failed experiment coming up soon.
Yeah, we got more failed, I guess you could say, experiments to talk about later on. So yeah, listen, we'll talk more about this freaking briefcase in the near future. But that was pretty much the opening segment. Again, more, I guess, to be desired. I guess the headline is just Punk and Cena face to face, and I guess the accomplishment was making this matchup official. I guess since there's only.
I mean, I did like the promo back and forth between them.
The promo was again, it's good.
It wasn't great. It was good.
Oh no, it was nowhere near great. But listen, I don't mind starting the shows off with guys like CM Punk or Cena. These are guys to where again they are, even though they've lost a step or two in that ring, but they can just add a spark to start the show off with their words on the microphone. So it was underwhelming, and it was just more was to be desired, I guess, as far as just the entirety of the segment. To where the end of the segment, it's just Rollins, and he's just smiling with his briefcase. Hey, guys, I got this briefcase. Remember, think twice, look over your shoulder, right? Sleep with one eye open, right? That's just like, come on, man. So, anyway, moving on. This is freaking baffling. You have a matchup with AJ Styles as AJ Styles defeats Chad Gable. Why? I just like, guys, why? Listen, much love to AJ Styles. And the thing with AJ Styles, Brian, is that, like, every
I don't think they
single
know
which
where to book
way.
him right now.
No,
Yeah.
right. But what's crazy is that, like, people will say, oh, well, AJ Styles won a match. He's looking strong. He's looking good. Well, guys, winning matches has never been the issue with AJ Styles. Because, by the way, Brian, he actually wins at least 80% of his matches,
Yeah.
according to statistics. So he wins a bunch of matches, but the problem is nobody gives a shit about what he's doing. So even if Styles winning this matchup, what did this do to further along Styles' booking to give a shit about what he's doing with Dominic Mysterio in this IC title? I mean, it's not consistent. It's on and off. It's just like, you're not giving us a reason with Styles to be along for the ride, to be in a feud with Dominic Mysterio for that IC title, whatever it is. And then you have Chad Gable, to where, okay, he took a loss, what was it, at Worlds Collide against Finn Kingo. Great match, by the way. Shout out to Finn Kingo. I hope to where, again, he takes it down a notch with all of the crazy spots. And again, I get it. He's a professional. He knows what he's doing. But the dude has a lot of nagging injuries. He just came off of massive knee surgery because of the risks that he does pull in these matchups, to where, man, I just wish that guys like Vinkingo, to where you gotta just tone it down just a little bit, to where you don't have to go 100 miles an hour like every single second. But because it was Worlds Collide, it was AAA and their first big event with WWE. Yep. So in this sort of scenario, I just hope moving forward, Brian, that if you're going to see Vinkingo a lot more, that he doesn't do that every match, because guess what? He does that majority of his matches than others. That's the problem. And it's just like, you're taking just like you say, Brian, about people like Darby Allin that do these crazy spots over in AEW. Vinkingo's the same way. Again, he's a great athlete. I'm not taking anything away from him, but it's just like, I can't wait for the day for wrestlers nowadays to where they can take a step back and they're like, wait a minute, why do I need to do like X, Y, and Z pillar to post 100 miles an hour every single night? Like, what am I doing here? But it's, again,
when that'll happen, and I'm being serious, man, again, with real life. When the company provides insurance for them and they can get time off to heal.
True.
That's when.
True.
That's when.
That's very, absolutely. That's a very fair statement. But yeah, like Chad Gable. So he took a loss in this match. Again, decent, very, very good match. Didn't really do much to Chad Gable. Listen, it's your Worlds Collide event. It was a good match. Nobody's sitting there talking about how Chad Gable's getting screwed over, right? It was a good match. Nobody lost anything. So now you put him on a match on Raw against Styles and he just loses. Why? Like, why do you need, what was the need to do that? It just doesn't make sense at all to put Chad Gable in this position. And what's the payoff for Chad Gable in this El Grande Americano shtick, where he also lost the frickin' briefcase in the ladder match, which he never should have won, period. Because again, do I really need to go in detail of why that would be stupid? But again, speaking, outside of that, it's just like, all right, you got a good wrestling match on a wrestling show against two guys that I've seen them fight one another. Again, good match. I'm not saying it was not a good matchup, but what is the point of, I guess, building someone up in Styles, I guess, to go to this IC title, to where nobody cares about AJ Styles and what he's doing? That's sad to say, because AJ Styles is great, but nobody cares about what he's doing. He's been irrelevant. I'm sorry. And Chad Gable, to where the dude is also so fucking good, and you just throw him out there and have him lose. Again, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, what's the purpose of these losses? What's the purpose of putting these people in these positions in the first place? It's just so odd to me. It's just not needed. It's not needed at all. Brian, what are your takes, man, with Styles and Gable, if you have any?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I love AJ Styles, man. Again, fantastic match. And I'm assuming you saw later on the promo where AJ Styles, or the backstage segment where he goes back and talks about the IC title and Judgment Day, and then also Heyman and Rollins. So I don't know where he's going. I don't know. I guess it's one of those two, or both half-ass. I don't know.
it's important to give people victories, right? Like I said with AJ Styles, he does win a lot more matches. That's great. But guys, the problem is not that Styles just wins, is not winning matches. It's just that what are you doing with these wins to prolong him in something interesting? You're not doing that. Nobody's talking about Dominic and AJ Styles and, oh man, this feud and how they're building it up and long-term story. What the fuck, man? Nobody's given a shit about Styles since what? I mean, shoot, I still remember the
when the
OC, I
broke
guess.
up.
I mean, shoot, I remember.
I don't know, because then he got injured and returned, and
right. I remember. Oh well, there was the Undertaker match at WrestleMania. What was it in WrestleMania 36? I think that main evented, but that's when the WrestleMania was starting to become 2 nights. It was that I guess it was like a buried alive match or something like that. Theatrical match, right? Then there was the Shane McMahon feud. I thought that's still one of the most memorable feuds and one of the best feuds that I remember was with Shane and with AJ Styles. I thought that again, and then that's bias for me because I really do like Shane McMahon. But just everything about the feud was just really, really good. That's something that's when Shane McMahon was, the general manager along with Daniel Bryan at the time. I mean, guys, like if you go back in history, like Brian, you mentioned like with the OC, maybe some matches and moments here and there over the past 5 years. What has Styles done that's been memorable to a lot of fans outside of some?
And this is a guy that's one of the greatest wrestlers of a generation. But he wasn't made by WWE.
Exactly, bro. And then, people will probably say like the fake retirement, segments where, that was good too. But guys, that didn't really go anywhere. It was like, it wasn't like this long-term feud with Cody to where like it had a great ending and a great, follow up and everything, right? That was a short-term feud. It was not a storyline. It had 1 or 2, 3 good moments, and that was it. So outside of that, guys, again, what has Styles done that's piqued anybody's interest for years now? The answer, it's nothing. It's really nothing, which sucks to say. And then Chad Gable, bro, this dude should be thriving at this point. From the Otis feud that should have been freaking taking headlines in this company to where you botched that because you rushed, what was it, American Made they're called, with the Wyatt 6, because you rushed that. Bro, both Otis and mainly Chad Gable, along with Karrion Kross and others, they should be thriving in this they should be bigger stars now than what they were like several months ago. Like I just don't understand it. And guys, just booking a good match for filler, pretty much, it's not doing anything for either person. I'm sorry. I just don't understand what this accomplished at all. It's frustrating, man. It's just really, really frustrating. So I guess Styles is going to go after the IC title, I guess, with Dominic moving forward. So I guess who knows in regards to that. But then you have the start of the Queen of the Ring tournament. So where you have Liv Morgan, Kairi Sane, Rhea Ripley, and Roxanne Perez. So Raquel Rodriguez got involved. Rhea Ripley was going for the cover, was covering Liv Morgan. Raquel Rodriguez pulls Rhea Ripley out of the ring. Kairi Sane freaking dive bombs onto both of them, taking both of them out. Kairi Sane hits her beautiful fucking elbow. It's such a thing of beauty, bro. But I'm seriously, Macho Man probably looks down upon Kairi Sane, and it's just like, because of how good it is, you would think it's like Macho Man's freaking daughter or some shit. Like how good it is. Shout out to Kairi Sane. It's so good. So she hits the elbow onto Liv Morgan. Roxanne Perez takes advantage with a roll-up finish to roll up Kairi Sane and win this matchup, as this was a fatal 4-way. So Roxanne Perez wins this match, and she moves on to the semifinals in the Queen of the Ring tournament. So, hey, listen, Roxanne Perez picks up a big W. I mean, this honestly, Brian, was the route that I hoped that WWE was going to go into, and they did. Kairi Sane, we kind of knew, as much as we like Kairi Sane, this company just has a ceiling for her. Like, she's not going to really break anything. And you knew that she was going to be the fall gal. To where, and you see what they do, Brian, to where it's like they gave her 2 victories the last 2 weeks. And then here she is for a big matchup, a fatal 4-way matchup. She's the one that gets pins and loses. So, I mean, listen, this storyline with the Judgment Day, to where you have Liv and Dominic to where, and then you have Finn Balor and I guess JD, who is, I guess, just playing along with what Finn Balor is
Yeah, we
trying
don't
to
really know
do.
where JD stands yet, but
Yeah,
yeah.
it's hit or miss with JD McDonough. But guys, like, let's face it, this is a recycled Judgment Day
Yep,
storyline.
100%.
So it's not like it's along with a lot of storylines in this company that are just so just recycled and just regurgitated. So yes, it can still be good, but right now there's nothing, Brian, that's jumping off the screen like man, like I can't wait to see what Finn Balor, what dastardly deeds he does to try to
Right.
split, because again, you're doing the same exact story, but you pluck out Rhea Ripley, you put in Liv Morgan, right? You pluck out frickin' Damian Priest and you'll put in frickin' Dominic Mysterio. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I
Or
don't know,
JD,
man.
yeah,
So
or even I don't know, yeah.
I like the decision for Roxanne Perez. Is she going to win this thing? Probably not. But I do like this decision to have her win matches, and hopefully she's at least, the next time she does lose, she's at least protected in defeat. And maybe they're going to do that by continuing to prolong again this recycled story that's going on. But Brian, what are your takes, man? Roxanne Perez moving on in the Queen of the Ring tournament. What do you think?
I'll get the negative out of the way first, man. Again, I mean, yes, it's the king and the queen of the ring, which deserves like that should be a tournament to crown them. However, it's just because of the oversaturation of tournaments and fatal four ways constantly. It's just like, God damn.
Yeah.
However, during the match, I mean, there was a lot, it was a decent match. Again, you mentioned Kairi Sane. I mean, she looked fantastic. If this goes into a route where Rhea Ripley and Raquel start a feud, okay, I can get on board with that. And the way it ended, like how that finish happened, that was pretty good, man. I really like how it all transpired. So like I don't mind Roxanne winning. That's fine. I don't think she should be Queen of the Ring. But yeah, overall, there was some bright spots in there. It's just, man, the fucking tournaments and the four ways, man.
Yeah.
Ah.
if you're gonna do tournament, like, exactly, and then they not only is it, because we've seen like tournaments and qualifying matches, like now it's like
Because we
instead of
just
three
had it like
people,
for Elimination Chamber and for the Money in the Bank and
right?
for
Yeah, it's just like not only is it three people now, Brian, but now it's four fucking people. Let's put four fucking people out there. Like, like listen, right? If you're gonna do tournaments, man, there's one exception for a tournament. That's the King of the Ring tournament. Or if you want to do it for the ladies for a Queen of the Ring, fine too. Just leave it at that, man. Enough of these random tournaments that you throw in the middle of Raw just to fill up a show, like a bunch of qualifying matches and fatal four-way matches. Like, oh, the winner of this fatal four-way wins and goes on to get into the main event, and the winner of that main event faces the champion at this pay-per-view. It's just like, the fuck? It's so
right.
weird,
Whatever
man.
happened to booking the storylines and that the story, because hey, these are the biggest people involved in the hottest stories. Those are your people in said match.
Yeah, and we'll believe it, right? Like if it makes sense for these people to be in this sort of, let's say, Money in the Bank ladder match, right? Just pick 6 people, right? That makes sense, right? Not saying like they got to be bona fide main eventers and your top stars, but like pick people that make sense to be in this matchup and just select them and go from there. And guess what? You can also do that and create a lot of storylines to where maybe,
through that
somebody like a Chelsea Green or somebody can go to the general manager's office. Like, why wasn't I picked for the Money in the Bank ladder match? You guys are holding me back. You're holding me hostage. You have something against me or whatever the fuck. Like, it could create a cool little rift and a storyline with authority and this, that, and the other. Like, it's cool shit. It's simplistic. It's just like, but yet you throw a bunch of qualifying matches and other tournament matches, and people take random losses for no fucking reason. It's so stupid. Oh, well, James, but people have to win or people have to lose matches. Okay, I get it, but like, you have to I get it. There's a lot of, let's say, victory in defeat, right? I get it. There's people that are going to lose, right? But it's the way that you're placing matches. It's the timing of, you putting this matchup on a random Monday Night Raw or SmackDown just for wrestler A to defeat wrestler B. It's not needed. It's just not needed at all. Like for the big pay-per-views, a big matchup, or even if you want to solidify a feud in a match in the main event, you can do that as well.
Let me add on to that, because we don't need to talk about it, but unless she's winning, unless she wins the Queen of the Ring, you saw the promo and the video package for Asuka, and you're going to tell me you're just re-debuting her in a fatal 4-way, for the qualify, what the fuck ever. So unless she fucking wins, unless she's the Queen of the Ring, which, I don't think anybody's got a problem with that. She is one of the best performers inside that ring. So man, I don't know. Unless she's the winner, it'll be God damn it, this is a return. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and by the way, so you have Asuka. Yeah, shout out to Asuka, who's finally returning. Yep. She's going to return, guys, in a fatal 4-way qualifier. That's how we're going to debut Asuka.
Again, unless she comes out Queen of the Ring, this is bullshit.
I doubt it. I fucking doubt it. To where, listen, you have in this fatal 4-way match, I'm guessing they're going to do this next week. It's going to be Asuka. Yeah. It's going to be Raquel Rodriguez, Ivy Nile, and Stephanie Vacuor. You guys know where they're going with it. They're going to go with Stephanie. It'll be Stephanie. Asuka's not winning shit, bro. She's going to return, right? She's going to put on a good performance. Asuka's back, but she just came up this short, right? It's like it's rust, maybe some ring. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. It's fucking Asuka. Who the fuck are we talking about here? Yeah. Oh, my God. I can't stand it. And then you have, as I go through the bracket here, too, before we move on, you have Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, Chelsea Green, and Candice LeRae. In a fatal 4-way match. I guess that's going to be on SmackDown. Another fatal 4-way to where you have Nia Jax, Piper Niven, Michin, and Jade Cargill. So who knows, man, as far as, I guess, who goes into this. I mean, with the fact that we're not hesitant to throw heels against other heels and faces versus other faces, who the fuck knows? You can't really dissect. It's not like fucking March Madness to where it could be like March Madness. You don't even fucking know who's going to win. You can just throw another heel again against another fucking heel, or a face against another face. Who the fuck knows? But moving on, we move on to Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch comes out. She cuts a promo. I thought Becky Lynch was great. Her first thing that she said was like, "What? No, you deserve a chance." I don't get it. Right. Because everybody gets a fucking "you deserve it." I thought that was great. Just poking the buttons of the fans and whatnot. I thought that was great. Becky Lynch is a really good heel, man. I really do like that aspect of her game. So she does a really good job. So Becky Lynch comes out and she demands Lyra comes out to raise her hand properly. She's like, she dislocated my shoulder because she raised my arm so aggressively. I actually like that. I don't know why I like that, but I just like that. The mannerisms. It was good, funny. It was funny, but it was also it's that type of heel shtick to where you're just like, right. What the fuck you talking about?
Shut the fuck up.
Shut up. Exactly, man. That's what makes Becky Lynch so good at this heel role, man. It's little things like that. So I thought she played her role tremendously well, but she's demanding Lyra to come out, and she does. She obliges. She's got this mean look on her face to storm into the ring, and Bayley returns. Bayley comes out, and she attacks Becky Lynch from behind. Lyra's just like there in shock and awe. She's like, what do I do? And I guess I'll throw Becky Lynch back into the ring, and then Bayley's gonna beat her up some more. And then Becky escapes through the crowd, and that was pretty much. So Lyra's still again like she's like she saw a ghost. Right. She's like a deer in a headlight. She's still in the rampway. She's just like, oh, what do I do? Oh, Bayley's back. Oh, wow. And then Bayley's in the ring, looking at or staring down Becky as she retreats. Oh, man. I don't know how to feel about this.
You know what it's going to be. You know what it's going to be. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yep, it's a fucking triple threat. So, I mean, look, man, listen, I don't know what. First things first, man. Again, much love to Bayley. It's good to see her back, man. It's just, but the thing is, Brian, is it sucks to say this, and I just said this about Styles. It really sucks to say this because I really like Bayley. She is so irrelevant right now, with what she's involved in, or at least lately. You took her off of WrestleMania just for Becky to be the replacement tag partner, just to win the titles and then to place them back onto Liv and Raquel to do the turn. So, I mean, again, it makes sense of why Bayley's in this situation. And does this make sense to a degree? Sure, I guess. But at the same time, it's just like now we're getting Becky and Bayley part 75. It's 2025 and we're still getting these two in the ring. Like, I don't know, man. It's just that part of it, Brian. It's just like, it's good to see Bayley. It's just that I don't know what her in a title match is going to truly do to get people on board of what Bayley is doing. We like Bayley. That's no problem there. It's just that what are you going to involve her? And I guess it's going to be with Lyra, to where, like Lyra's like, no, I need, this is my business with Becky. I need to get that title back. And then Bayley's going to be like, well, she took me out of our tag matchup. I need to get my redemption. So it's going to be like, can they coexist? They're going to be in tag matches and Becky Lynch is going to find a partner or some shit like that. I don't fucking know. So that's just what I'm afraid of, man, to where, yes, can you do stuff to where maybe this can be good? Sure, absolutely. I'm not denying that. But Brian, like, it's just the narrative of this company and how they go about things and how they go about business. We kind of know where things are going to go, right? They're going to have these little segments, maybe backstage segments. They're going to do the can we coexist stuff, to where there's going to be some friction between Bayley and Lyra to get to Becky Lynch. And it's going to most likely lead to a triple threat, possibly at SummerSlam, most likely. So who the hell knows, to where maybe they can I guess rush a match for either Saudi or Saturday night's main event, and then you do the triple threat at SummerSlam.
I'm imagining, they'll probably be Becky and Bayley at Saudi.
Probably. And then so at least that would make a tad bit more sense. To like, you throw it on Saudi, it's no harm, no foul, and then you do the triple threat. I don't know, man. I'm just indifferent about it. But what do you think, Brian, as far as this situation, Becky, Lyra, and a returning Bayley?
Yeah, I mean, I think you and I have spoken on it so many times, right? You know, if you reference the four horsewomen, I mean, for me, number one is Bayley. I know for you it's Sasha, but you know, for those are the top two. You know, them two. So anytime Bayley, is there, I'm happy she's back. Glad to see her. But yeah, this is going to be this is going to just be a triple threat, and to get the belt back on Lyra. So I don't know where Bayley goes, man.
And that's the thing, right? Because that's where you think that this is just going to lead to. It's just going to, Bayley is going to be, I guess you can say, a role, play a part-time role.
What she does, I mean, she's another one of those people, I mean, you could say Gable's doing the same thing. What the, there's just the role that should be, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying, but it's just, yes, it's this constant role player, R-Truth, this is your role, this is what you do, and you can't ever get out of that, right? I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, man, it just sucks. Again, on one end, it's good to see Bayley, but on the other hand, it's just for Bayley's sake, to where she still has a whole lot to offer. And I get it. She's not, as far as, the wrestler that maybe she was several years ago, because she has developed a lot of serious injuries since then, from her days in NXT and her early days on the main roster, and in her early days as a heel when she started this new, I guess, role outside of the hugger gimmick, right? It's just like she still has so much to offer. And it's just like, I remember even moments with Io Sky with Damage Control, to where if you put Bayley in something, she'll do her part.
Oh,
absolutely. And I just don't understand how hard it is.
Like R-Truth, man. Like, she's gonna make chicken salad on chicken shit
absolutely.
most of the time.
Absolutely. So it's just that, listen, she's going to play her role and she's going to do well to help out Lyra as far as getting the title back on her. But again, what is that going to do longevity for somebody like Bayley? Listen, Becky Lynch is going to be fine. We know how this company feels about Becky Lynch. She's pretty much, outside of Rhea, the top dog in the female women's division in WWE. But for Bayley, let's face it, she's been on the bottom of the fucking totem pole, even with a championship not too long ago. So it's just, I just don't, listen, bro, until Triple H starts to be consistent with his booking, I just don't trust the longevity of how this is going to go. I just don't expect to be anything exciting or anything outside of the box. I expect a coexisting game. I expect maybe some good interactions backstage, something that we haven't really, nothing that's out of the ordinary that we haven't seen before. Right. So, and that's just it. That's just my honest take as far as this situation. So we'll see where this goes. Up next was R-Truth. A returning R-Truth, or should I say Ron Killings? Ron Killings, as he shows up in his mask and his or his hoodie, his black hoodie and his mask, the same way he showed up at Money in the Bank just previous nights ago. And he cuts a promo. And I love this line where he's like, hey, don't let anybody say that your voice doesn't matter. Right? I love that freaking line, as he probably cut one of the best lines or at least one of the best promos that he has cut in a very, very, very long time. Like, I'm back because of y'all. Like, I'm thank you guys so much, and pretty much praising the crowd, for the "We Want Truth" chants and everything like that. And he talks about how, like, R-Truth, he's like, he's too funny, he's too nice, he's too forgiving, and he says, like, now I feel so alive, like he's being reinvented. And he talks about, hey, you think I'm some sort of sideshow act? You think I'm a gimmick? You think I'm a joke? You think I'm this, right? And all of a sudden, he just starts cutting his hair. He starts cutting his dreads off. Gets a holy shit chant from the crowd. This was probably the best part of this entire show, guys. I mean, let's be honest. It was freaking R-Truth. The reaction that he got, the promo that he cut, this was just tremendous, man. And he just ends the promo with, listen, he's like talking about, saying Ron Killings is like, it's, the truth has set me free, and that's nothing but, and that is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I'm Ron Killings, and put some respect on my damn name. And mic freaking drop. I fucking loved it, man. That's probably the best way you can end that freaking promo. He said, put some respect on my name. I freaking loved it, man. So look, I mean, clearly they're gonna go. Listen, we know how real this situation was as far as R-Truth and him, in fact, being released or about to be released, even though he wasn't released as far as, a couple nights ago before he made his return. Right. He still had a couple weeks left of his contract, but it was no secret. He was going to be released from the company once his contract expired over the next couple of weeks, right? It was clear. That's why Carlito, you have not seen Carlito. He has been released. People like Sarah Logan and others, guys, like it was happening. Like, he was not going to be a part of the company anymore, but it was because of us and the backlash that Triple H got. Freaking Nick Khan had no choice but to call him up, to give him a phone call, and to lay a deal on the line, or on the dotted line, for him to come back. But look, man, here's what I'll say. They're going the serious route with R-Truth, right? He's gonna now be officially Ron Killings, right? Or at least going by the name Ron Killings, right? To where now you're getting to see, or at least fans are gonna now finally see, a different side of R-Truth that people don't know much about. They just know about his comedic, comedy role. But the thing is, man, as much as I'm on board with it, and I'm sure maybe Brian, to a degree, I'm sure you're definitely on board with it as well. The problem is, man, is Triple H and his fucking egotistical ways, his pettiness getting in the way, to where you mentioned it with people like an AJ Styles, to where he gained his popularity from not under his creative booking, not under the WWE realm, because they thought that, hey, let's book this dude like a joke, like a clown, like a jobber. And by the time his contract is up, now that we no longer see any value in him, you thought that you were going to soften the blow by sending him out the door. Nobody's going to give a shit. Well, this company was fucking wrong, along with frickin' Triple H. And guys, if you seriously think that you still think that this is a work, if people really are still out there thinking that this is a fucking work, I don't think, Brian, people are truly thinking as far as like sitting down and discussing like how it's so stupid for you to say that this is a work? Because guys, understand this: the matchup with John Cena and R-Truth at Saturday night's main event, right? So where if R-Truth had if this was part of a story and R-Truth had a massive problem, let's say with John Cena, right? And he's like, hey, he's no longer the sideshow act. You got to put some respect on my name. John Cena mentioning R-Truth in a promo from earlier on in the night. Like, why would the storyline be the fact that, okay, he had his match with Cena, then he went into a completely different direction with JC Mateo, Jacob Fatu, and that whole storyline with Jimmy Uso, just for him to go online and say that he's been released or his contract is not being renewed. And then in a couple weeks, he's just going to show up in a hood and a mask when his contract has not been expired. His contract is still under contract. Like, it's like, it doesn't add up. The work wouldn't work. It doesn't make sense. So guys, like, enough with that. This was a plan all along, or this was the work of the Triple H played us all for a fiddle. Like, stop. Like, then the Triple H is gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, it's all part of the show." Shut the fuck up, dude. Like, stop. WWE, man, y'all have a great opportunity to where R-Truth, because of this whole situation, is legit the most over pro wrestling talent in the industry right now. It's given proof. It's given day. And if you don't take advantage of this WWE, then you're missing out on a big fucking opportunity. But the only thing that's going to get in the way of it, Brian, is Triple H and his massive ego and his fucking pettiness, because of the fact that he didn't want R-Truth here. It's clear as day that he did not want them here, along with other executives that were not going to hesitate to send him out the door. Well, guess what? Because of us, he's here. And now you need to book him right. So are you going to put your ego and your pride aside and actually give him good, proper booking? Or are you going to be petty as fuck and just book him into irrelevancy once again and have this go absolutely nowhere? So we'll soon find out. But Brian, what are your takes, man?
Man, I don't say this lightly. I really don't. That 3-5 minute promo by Ron Killings, that to me is the single best moment I've seen in wrestling since Stone Cold. You know, and you can go back if you want to say the 316, whatever.
Right.
And this means so much more, because this was not a work. It was because of us, the fans. That's why it was so fucking important. And that's why, yes, it was organic and real. That, you know, whether people will remember this, you know, I will. That, seriously, that for me, that his promo, man, that was beautiful. And yeah, if it's going to depend on the booking, but for me, the only way to book him, you know, for whatever, either he is going to be the guy to beat Cena, or he's going to call Cena to lose that belt. That you got to fucking jump on this right fucking now and start it right now. Ron Killings, he ain't playing. Whole new gimmick. Absolutely. And I don't give a shit what anybody says about this upcoming star. He's 53. I would have absolutely no problem. Again, it depends on the booking and the story they're going to tell for the next 6 months. But if you're telling me, you know, Ron Killings beat Cena at Survivor Series, fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll soon find out. Again, I'm not gonna at least be confident as far as that's gonna go. But I agree with you. Like, listen, like, you fucked up, right? You got backlash. You got to take your fucking L. But guess what? Use this now to your advantage, bro. Take something that, yes, was a real situation, and take it and use it to your advantage. But again, Brian, we know how this company operates, and we know the pettiness of this company. That's the only way that's going to truly hurt R-Truth, Ron Killings in this entire situation.
Right.
And that's it, man. But I agree, man. I love the promo. I thought it was great. You know, cutting the hair and everything, and kind of like now he's now a new reinvented man, pretty much now. He's going to probably have a new look, a brand new freaking look. the next time we see him. So look, man, I'm on fucking
I'm on
board, dude.
board, man.
Let's fucking
Yeah,
do it.
yeah,
I've
yep,
been dying to see something out of this guy for a very long time outside of
yeah,
comedic shit, you know. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes, man. But it's up to WWE to take their pride and their pettiness aside for this to fucking work.
yep.
And that's all I'm gonna say. So
Shout out Ron Killings, man.
shout out to
Glad you're
Ron
back.
Killings, man. Freaking Charlotte, North Carolina's own, by the way,
Yes,
too. So
yes.
shout out to him as well. And shout out again to his son Chris, who threw fucking Triple H underneath the bus too. I fucking love that shit too, man. Shout out to his son too. All right, we move on to our next King of the Ring tournament matchup. Well, last was the Queen of the Ring. Now this is the King of the Ring tournament. This was another fatal four-way match. We have Dominic Mysterio, we have Sami Zayn, we have Penta, and we have Braun Breaker. So Braun Breaker, he's cleaning house on the outside, and LA Knight, freaking gets involved. He takes out Braun Breaker just from out of freaking nowhere. That leads with Sami Zayn and Dominic Mysterio in the middle of the ring. Halula kick is delivered from Sami Zayn to Dominic. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Sami Zayn wins this match, and he's moving on to the semifinals in the King of the Ring tournament. Brian, I'll let you start, man. Your thoughts on LA Knight costing Braun Breaker. We'll see where that goes, of course. And what are your thoughts on Sami Zayn winning this fatal four-way match?
That was a good moment for Sami Zayn. Again, with these four individuals involved in the match anyway, I mean, I don't know. Take your pick or who you're gonna, have to advance. So, it was a nice moment for him, and I'm assuming this is gonna now, kind of, I guess the focus is gonna be between Braun and LA Knight. Okay, I don't know what else to say. I mean, LA Knight should be holding on to the briefcase. So, I mean, could it be good? Sure. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Look, man, Sami Zayn. I'll just say this about Sami Zayn, and yeah, I'll get more into LA Knight in just a second too, because he is a part of this tournament as well. I guess he might have this match this coming Friday on SmackDown. His
Breaker's coming out and going to cost him.
Yeah, exactly that this shtick, this alliance with Heyman and such is going to cost LA Knight this matchup. Right. So, and that leads with people like Orton, Malachi Black, and Carmelo Hayes. I guess you take your pick as far as who moves on, but and I guess you could say it's probably I mean, again, this company.
I don't even know. I mean, I could see Orton, but also, I mean, I would think I'd like to see Malachi Black personally, but.
Yeah, I don't even know. At least from right now, it seems like they would they dare have Orton win this match? Or shoot, would they dare finally give Carmelo Hayes something and they give him this freaking victory? I don't fucking know. To at least get some type of momentum after winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. But outside of that,
one thing's for certain, it won't be LA Knight.
No, and even if even if LA Knight won this freaking even if he won this tournament, so where whoever wins this tournament, they get a world title opportunity. Is LA Knight gonna really win the fucking matchup? He's not. He's not gonna win this title, bro. If LA Knight was gonna give any rocket at this point, he would have gotten it already. If Triple H really wanted to push this dude to a world title opportunity, he would have fucking done it by now. So, and it's a consolation prize, dude. They're not gonna take the freaking titles off of Cena. They're not going to take the title off, the world championship, which we'll get into later on, right? Seth has this briefcase. He's going to be in and around that title. Like, LA Knight's going to get nowhere close to it, guys, to where even if he wins this tournament, it's not going to do anything longevity for LA Knight at all, because he's not going to win that title, because the best way he could have won that title was him winning the fucking briefcase over the last 2 to 3 fucking years. And that's just it, bro. And that's just what pisses me off. Yep. And then Sami Zayn, right? Looks, I like Sami Zayn a lot. I think Sami Zayn is very underappreciative. I think Sami Zayn does really good for what's given to him. Once again, I said this about freaking Bailey, and I said this about Styles. Love all of these guys and what they can do. I don't give a shit about a Sami Zayn winning a title. If this was 2 years ago, Brian, when he was with the Bloodline and he had a matchup with Roman, we would have a different story because you felt something about Sami Zayn 2+ years ago. Nowadays, it's just like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
It's just, okay, cool. He had the matchup with Kevin Owens, right? The unsanctioned matchup, right? He won tag titles at WrestleMania. Okay, cool. But as far as winning a world championship, and yes, he won the IC title and defeated Gunther at WrestleMania 40. I can't really say that went off as a hitch because a lot of people wanted Chad Gable in that spot during that time. So outside of Roman Reigns, to where the crowd was heavily behind Sami Zayn, this dude was tall. I'm talking white hot. Ever since then, bro, I'm sorry, I just have not given a shit about Sami Zayn, to where like I just don't need to see this guy win a world championship. I just don't. And at some point, you probably will see that because you're seeing Karrion Kross, backstage playing mind games with the dude, to where, hey, you're never going to be world champion, right? You're a bad guy, you're not a good guy type of thing, right? It's just like, I just don't understand, to where like, it's just like sometimes he just feels like he's there. It's just like, with Seth Rollins, he plays like the good simpleton, like, hey, it's like, I don't like the situation that you're in, right? Or sometimes speaking with CM Punk, like he's playing like the father figure. Hey, I need to let you know of this, Punk. You gotta win this match. It's just like, it's very weird. I don't know. Like, he plays his part well. I'm not saying he doesn't, but it's just like what his role is, as far as like, now we gotta give a shit about him winning a championship like we did with him 2 to 3 years ago. I'm just not seeing the consistency of booking, to where, yeah, we got to see Sami Zayn along for the ride, because we like Sami Zayn and I like Sami Zayn too, but I'm not feeling anything as far as captivation. Like, I need to see him win this championship. Like, we needed to see Cody Rhodes win that title at WrestleMania 39. They didn't want to fucking do that. So I don't know. I really don't know who's going to freaking win this tournament as far as I'm concerned, at least as of right now. Like you said, Brian, it's kind of like take your pick at this point. This company doesn't care whether faces are going up against other faces, and they don't give a shit if heels are going up against other heels at this point. So who the fuck knows, honestly. So that is your King of the Ring tournament. We move on to the ladies. We move on to Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella makes her return. She's from Phoenix, Arizona, so she's there live in attendance. And she's pretty much there to promote the WWE Evolution PLE, which is coming up in July, and how she's pretty much uplifting the women's division. Liv Morgan comes out with authority. She's like, if you're going to talk about the women's division, you better mention Liv Morgan. And she's getting this massive pop. I'll get to that in just a second. But Liv Morgan cuts a pretty damn good promo, and Liv Morgan kind of, she goes along the lines of saying, like, you didn't mention my name because you're probably jealous of me. You're jealous because I have everything that you don't. I have respect. I have a championship, and I have a man. I thought that was kind of funny. And Nikki Bella is like, listen, he's like, I'm just confused whether, your man belongs to you, or does he belong to freaking Roxanne Perez? So, and then Liv Morgan said some more words, like, at the end of the day, you'll be nothing but a freaking diva, or something like that. Or reality show diva, or something like that. So that really struck a nerve with Nikki Bella. She's entering back into the ring to face off with Liv, but Liv meets her halfway and hits an oblivion to Nikki Bella, lays her out. Liv Morgan talking that shit, and that's pretty much the segment. Let me say this, right? Listen, Liv Morgan, much props to her. She cut a really good promo. I mean, she was on it, and much love to her. I've said this for years about Liv Morgan. She's just so damn good. And listen, Nikki Bella, look, a lot of people are going to be up in arms and with their pitchforks, right? But I'm like, people, oh, Nikki Bella, why is she here? I mean, listen, guys, with Nikki Bella being a part of WWE Women's Evolution, right? Because, Brian, I see what they're going to do. They're going to do Liv Morgan and Raquel, and they're going to do the Bella Twins for the tag titles. And, Brian, at this point, if that's what you want to do and have the Bella Twins win the titles, I'm fine with it at this point. Because, Brian, and this is why I say that, there's no care and effort into this tag division. There's none, because this company doesn't give a shit about it. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, they pander around with those titles, doing absolutely nothing with them. There's no division. There's no nothing. You're not putting any care and effort into it. So, Brian, at this point, if you want to have Nikki Bella and Brie Bella come back and create a moment by winning tag titles, and creating a certain sort of, I guess, again, moment for this big pay-per-view that's coming up, or PLE, just fucking do it at this point. And at this point, Brian, like there's so many holes and there's so many problems in this company. With the Bella Twins coming back and being in a tag title match, like I just don't have problem with it. There's so many other problems, Brian, than the Bella Twins getting a women's tag title opportunity. I'm sorry. So I'm on board with it if that's what they want to do. But here's also my problem. Like we talked about this Judgment Day storyline. Aren't they slowly trying to turn Dominic and Liv Morgan face? Because that's why Roxanne Perez is inserted into all of this, right? Because they're trying to create a rift. Finn Balor is supposed to be the heel. Roxanne is playing the role of the heel. So you're slowly evolving Liv and Dominic as faces, right? Because that's the reactions that they're getting. So why is she out there? And again, she killed it. But why is she out there now pandering as a heel against Nikki Bella? Like, right. Do you see what I'm saying? How weird this is? Like, this is the problem, guys, with the consistency of how you're booking your talent. There is no consistency. 1 week, you're trying to slowly turn them face or at least slow burn it. And then you're out there. She's trying to play the heel and she's getting cheered. She got a massive pop and eruption. It's just like, I don't understand the situations that you put these wrestlers in to where you're setting them up for failure, to where they're trying to get heat. They're trying to do something to make sense of why they're out there and their character. And it's just this company puts them in the worst positions possible. And it doesn't make sense either. And you're just confusing your audience, whether it's watching live in attendance or watching live on Netflix, right? To where, oh, wait, I thought they were turning her face. You could see they're turning more of her as, I guess the good gal, right? Because of the situation with Finn, but yet she's out there playing as a diabolical heel. I just don't understand it. I don't understand. It's just the consistency, Brian, is just what's very odd. But what are your takes, man? Liv Morgan and Nikki Bella in this segment.
I hate what this is leading to, honestly. Whichever way it goes. No problem. The Women's Evolution pay-per-view overall, but fantastic. Absolutely love it. But I hadn't even thought about both of the Bellas coming back and it being a tag match. I would just still, just if it was just a one-on-one, man. Like, I don't know, with Liv being one of your top female stars, I don't know why we need to see her in a match with one of the Bellas. And if they go the route of what you said, the tag team idea, to me, that is just more of like a John Cena, we're ruining wrestling type thing. And which you're right, they haven't shown much, care for the tag titles, but to put them on the Bellas, oh, fuck no. Fuck no. So I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. She was out there to promote, and I'm, the pay-per-view, PLE, whatever. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great. I don't know if you needed this match, whether it's a single match. If it turns out to be a tag match in which Liv and Raquel retain, okay. But if it's a singles match, don't need it. And if it's a tag match and the Bellas win, oh, hell no. Hell no.
I hear you, man. But again, unless, if that's the case, if we don't want to do that scenario, then guess what? Build a division. Because if you're not going to build the division is already a joke anyway. So you might as well just create a moment and put the titles on the Bellas just because it's evolution. It's a big women's PLE. And I'm sorry, Brian, because there's so many other issues in this company, I just don't see the Bella Twins in a title match being that sort of problem in this company. I just don't. To where it's going to be a one-off, right? It's like a one-off situation to where, they'll win championships. Maybe they'll get another matchup with some other tag team, right? Because, like, who are the other tag teams, right? You've gotten rid of all your fucking tag teams. That includes Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. You had Isla Dawn, who's gone, but Alba Fire's now with Secret Hervis, with Piper Niven, to where maybe that's a route you can go. But right now they're kind of more just henchwoman to Chelsea Green.
For sure.
So you can go that route with those two ladies. It's just that I'm just not seeing a division, right? To where
there is none.
There's none.
Right.
So I don't understand what the harm of the foul is just giving the Bella twins a fucking title match. I mean,
for me, that it would be because, look, they are not great wrestlers.
No, I get it.
And I just, yeah, and I mean,
pretty fitting though, because the division sucks.
That's what I'm saying. Well, again, if you want to turn it into a storyline, like we're ruining wrestling, and okay, but yeah, no, I don't need to see the Bellas.
No, I hear you. And listen, I'm not gonna sit here and say that this is what we need to see. But like, if this is what they want to do, I'm not gonna really get upset about it. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. I just think that there's just a lot of issues more than just the Bella twins getting a title opportunity. That's just me. But and yeah, as far as like Nikki Bella, if she's gonna get a matchup or not, and we've said this about Liv Morgan, she's been probably one of the most consistent wrestlers and a workhorse, so they probably trust her to have her go out there and put on a good performance for Nikki Bella if she's going to be performing at WWE Evolution. So that's probably what my thought process is leading towards as far as them putting Liv in this predicament or in this situation. So I don't know, man. It's just,
you had mentioned it too, as far as the face turn. I don't know if I mean, it would seem like that's what they would do, or, because all of this, like, really Liv kind of started all of this, right?
Right.
So maybe they leave her as heel, maybe, and turn Dom's face. But in the scenario, it would have been so easy to have Roxanne be the one that come out there, right? And again, if you're trying to turn Liv face, then you know what I'm saying? Like, you picked the wrong person to come out there. I don't know, man. It's just I don't need to see the Bellas. They don't need to win a match.
No, nobody needs to see it. And trust me, like I would listen. If I had to take it or leave it, I would also leave it too. But I'm also not gonna. I'm also just out of a lot of things.
I don't want to say we don't need to see the Bellas. That's not what I meant. I guess we don't need to see the Bellas winning championships.
That's fair. No, fair enough. So, but we'll see. I'm sure whether it's a match with Liv and Nikki, or if they do this tag match. I mean, we'll see where they take with it. As far as hopefully maybe the Bellas have been training for this moment. Maybe they can at least make this one-off, at least somewhat, in good taste, I guess, as far as what the match will be. But who knows as far as that. But anyway, Brian, let's get into this main event, man. There is a lot to dissect as far as this main event is concerned. You have a World Heavyweight Championship match. This is your champion, Jey Uso, against challenger Gunther. Right away, Brian, this is what pisses me off. You ready? Not the yeeting, not the entrance, right? I'm already sick of that shit. But it's Michael Cole and these announcers that they are trying to protect Jey Uso right out of the gate, to where he exposes injured ribs, right? And it's just like, if you haven't noticed, right? Because Jey Uso, after last night, he's a little bit banged up. He's a little bit this and that and the other. I'm like, what? Because he competed in a match last night? Okay, Chad Gable has had to fight. He fought at freaking Worlds Collide, and he fought in a ladder match. Stephanie Vacuur also fought in 3 matches in 2 fucking nights. It's just like, I don't, it's like, it's Jey Uso. Like, what are we doing to portray this guy? And this is the problem, Brian, that I have with Jey Uso's booking. It's the fact that we want to portray this dude like he's Superman. Like he just miraculously just have fucking superpowers from his Samoan heritage, or I don't know what it is, to where now he's doing spears. He's doing power moves. He's no selling Gunther's chokehold from this matchup from later on. It's just like it's so fucking weird. And by the way, can Jey Uso stop doing a spear? Like I can't watch this guy do another spear. It's like this dude goes head first. I think he's going to break his neck, Brian. I'm seriously. He goes legit head first. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I'm like, my God, either do the spear properly or just stop doing it. It's just like, please, for the love of God. It looks horrible. And if you keep doing what you're doing, it's not going to look any better. The matchup was the match. I mean, again, this was what we saw from WrestleMania. This is what we saw from frickin' Saturday night's main event. This has been nothing different from these two. It was a match with a lot of power moves and a lot of false finishes. And when it was all said and done, Gunther puts in the chokehold on Jey Uso, brings him down to the mat. Jey Uso passes out. And Gunther, ladies and gentlemen, is your new World Heavyweight Champion, defeating Jey Uso as Jey Uso's world title reign comes to an end with a total amount of 51 days that Jey Uso held that World Heavyweight Championship. And what's funny, Brian, is that this is the same maneuver that Jey Uso put Gunther in. So Gunther taps out in less than 5 seconds, but Jey Uso fucking passes out. I'm just like, it fucking make sense. It's just like, again, the booking of, listen, I get it, bro. Like, you got to protect wrestlers. I get it. And I respect that you are trying to protect Jey Uso. I completely get it. But there's got to be some fucking realism here as far as who you are trying to protect and how you're trying to make this feel a certain type of way, like the believability. Like, how is all of this for Jey Uso? You trying to protect Jey Uso and having him, counter out of all of these freaking maneuvers taken from Gunther, and how he's doing all of these power moves, and sometimes he no-sells freaking maneuvers. Like, where's the realism in that? I'm sorry, guys. When I watch somebody like a Jey Uso, I need to believe, as far as the maneuvers that he is performing onto Gunther, there's got to be a sense of realism. I'm sorry. I just don't believe in the fact that this guy, Jey Uso, is overpowering or is going to be in there asleep for 20 minutes in a Gunther chokehold, in a bad, and Gunther delivers a badass chokehold. You're telling me that if freaking Jey can freaking pass out and take him 20 minutes to pass out when for Gunther it takes him 5 seconds to tap out? Stop, man. It's just so weird. However, with all that being said, guys, look, I know a lot of people are going to be upset. I know a lot of people are going to be pissed off. Oh, why do you put the title back on Gunther? Gunther's so boring. Gunther's title reign was shit before. What is this going to do, right? Oh, you didn't even give Jey Uso a chance with this world title. And all of that's true. Guys, all of that's true. Regardless of how I feel, because I'll be honest, I threw a party. I threw fucking confetti. I threw a fucking party when he won this title. And I said it on this fucking, on this show. Once this dude loses this title, I will throw a fucking party, because I'm sorry, guys. It's not the fact that I just don't dislike the gimmick. And I like Jey Uso, but let's face it, this is a business decision that had to be made. You had to get this title off of Jey Uso because it was not benefiting anybody. Yeah. So where if all you have to offer for Jey Uso, to where he's not a top merchandise seller anymore. He's getting surpassed by people like LA Knight, still people like Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, who's never really here anymore. Like, he's not, you take that away, you take away of the fact that, oh, he's being pushed and he's being over because people pander to his yeet shtick like we're on the set of Sesame Street, or we're fucking shooting a commercial for fucking Chuck E. Cheese because of all the kids yeeting and shit. Like, guys, it's just like that. As far as the in-ring stuff, the matches, nobody's buying it. And the numbers are telling you that. Monday Night Raw got the lowest rating on Netflix. They scored a 2.6 million. So we're back in January. There were over 5 million globally. And I'm not saying this is all on Jey Uso, but because, Brian, that WWE put the rocket on Jey Uso, guess what? If your ratings are not adding up, if your ratings were not progressing, guess who you're going to look to? The star that you booked as the world champion, which is Jey Uso, which is why I say, guys, is that Jey Uso is not moving the fucking needle as a world champion. He has not. He has not. Outside of that fucking yeet shtick and that catchphrase, he has done nothing for anybody. This is a business decision, guys, that simply had to be made. And I get it. Gunther winning this championship is no fucking better because we've seen a title reigns from Gunther. I completely get it because this decision still makes no sense because you wasted the Royal Rumble, you wasted the WrestleMania freaking match with Jey and Gunther, and then 7 weeks later, he's now losing this title to the same fucking person. It's just, it's all over the place. So outside of how I personally felt, Brian, as far as thank God Jey had lost this title, but at the end of the day, all of this is still a mess. Like there's no hiding it. It's still a mess. Gunther has this title. Now you have a Money in the Bank briefcase holder who's a heel, and you have also 2 heel fucking champions. It's a fucking mess, bro. It's such a mess. But I'm sorry, guys. Whether we like it or not, if you're a fan of Jey Uso, this may be hard to hear. But guys, Jey Uso, they put the title on him. They put the rocket on him. You tried. You gave it your all. You gave it your best effort. And it miserably failed. It failed. It fell flat on your face, and you had no choice but to get that title off of him. 4 letters, 1 word, over. Done. It's done. Put him back in the mid-card. Put him back with his brother Jimmy. It's done. You tried it. You got to fucking move on. Brian, what are your takes, man? I know that's a lot, but what are your takes, man? This main event and Jey Uso, man, losing his world championship to Gunther.
I don't know how to feel. I mean, it's something that, yes, had to happen. I don't know who else right now you would have had beating Jey. And yeah, like I again am a fan of Jey, and I don't put much of this on Jey. Like honestly, like they WWE, Triple H, whatever. Like you knew you were just booking this on Yeet. You knew it, and there's never been anything else developed. Like I mean, I said it from the jump, man. Like it's gonna run its course, and there's nowhere else to go. So yeah, you know, I guess they tried, didn't work, and now it's back on Gunther. But again, even with Gunther, man, like I don't know, the way they booked Gunther over the last, number 6 months or so. Like I don't see Gunther holding on to this title for a long, long time.
Oh no.
Mainly because Seth Rollins has the Money in the Bank, and like I said at the top, he's not cashing in on Cena, and he's not going to cash in on Gunther. So it's going to be somebody else that gets that title. Yeah.
And that's the thing, man, because it's just like, what is this leading to? Because we hear rumors, Brian, about Goldberg and a retirement matchup, like to where you can get it done and over with at Saudi. Is this going to be Gunther and Goldberg in Saudi? Or are they going to save it for Saturday night's main event? Or are they legit just going to put this guy, because it's Goldberg, let's just throw him in on SummerSlam, to where you have a matchup with Gunther and Goldberg. And then if Seth Rollins is going to win this championship, then maybe the fact that Sami Zayn wins the freaking King of the Ring tournament and he gets a matchup against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, I guess, because they have the history. They've had that animosity as Seth has slowly turned heel up into this point, I guess. So I don't know. I really don't know. But either, because I was
Goldberg, man. Sorry.
No,
for Goldberg,
you're good.
Listen, WWE, like Triple H, man, like you heard, like who the fuck is clamoring for Bill Goldberg? We are not. Like, why? Why is Goldberg even in a conversation about anything? Fucking Christ, man.
And it's apparent. I know it's funny, Brian. He's actually, like, I've heard that he's developed massive injuries during his training. So he's still gonna try, like, because Goldberg is gonna come back and do this matchup.
I mean,
It's
what,
just a
he's got
matter
to
of
be 60, yeah, or thereabouts, pushing
Goldberg.
it.
That's a great question. Actually, I can find that. Goldberg is 58 years old.
58,
So
yeah.
he's approaching 60. So yeah, man, it's
Go
just
home,
like,
Goldberg. Go home. Go the fuck home. Like,
right. I
see,
mean,
like,
like, listen, I mean,
yeah.
if it's true though, like the fact that you have been in training and the fact that you have, issues with your knee and you have issues with your shoulder, you're going to go out there. Imagine like Goldberg delivering a spear that way. It's where you have one leg and one fucking arm. And and the fact that it's Goldberg.
I wonder what his payday in Saudi is going to be. I mean,
oh
yeah.
my
So,
God.
take the money and run, Bill.
Right. I mean, if that's the case, bro, Bill, like, just, I'm sure you got well enough money to your name, bro. Go into a fucking retirement home. Look after your son Gage, who is also trying to hurt. Is in football and he's trying to become a pro wrestler, is what I'm hearing too. Like, just focus on that shit, man. Like, listen, look, if you are gonna do a retirement match, Brian, I hope it's either Saudi or Saturday Night's Main
and
Event.
not for a goddamn title. Period.
And
like,
not for enough.
It doesn't mean that, like,
knowing this.
I really don't understand this. Like, can WWE audience, anybody out there listening, right? When did it become like, like, okay, a Ric Flair or a Sting or even a Hulk Hogan or, whatever. Yes, there's stars we want to see come back and they do. And, okay, one last run or whatever. Like, man, do y'all, like, I do WWE, or I guess, I don't know, wrestling fandom, maybe it's just me, but are we really holding Bill Goldberg in this esteem as, like, legendary wrestler? I don't know, man. For me, he's not, like, but I don't know.
I don't even know, man, at this point. So where, again, because, you look at the situation with Gunther now holding on to this title. You look at Sami Zayn, you look at, Seth Rollins, who holds on to this briefcase. John Cena, who's holding on to his, championship. It's just such a weird situation to where you have three heels, right? One has a briefcase, two of them have championships. So where if Seth Rollins is going to cash in this briefcase, he's going to cash in on another heel. What is that doing for anybody? It's just, I don't understand this decision, even for Jey Uso. Even though as much as I love the decision to get the title off of Jey Uso, all of this is still a fucking mess. So I don't want to I don't want to be taking this out of context where, like, oh, just because, the fact that I have not been with this whole shtick, this yeet shtick since it started. But I'm not going to hesitate and say, yeah, it's turned now into a massive fucking mess to where now you have heel champions and a heel briefcase holder, and you got a returning Goldberg that's going to have a retirement match. It's just, and this is
record profits.
Good old record profits, right? We got to get ourselves out of $3 million in debt somehow. So let's say Cash App, right? Cash App, Slim Jim, frickin' what else? Frickin' Prime, right? Frick 7-Eleven, Morgan and Morgan, right? Fucking Great American Beer. I won't go that route, sorry. Anyway, but you guys get the point. But
Wheatley vodka, man, for sure.
Freaking vodka, yeah. It's a PG product, and they won't hesitate to promote alcohol on their
I don't
brands,
mind about that. I just think it's funny because it's Cody's.
Oh no, I don't mind it either. I just think it's funny though. It's funny, like how, like, oh, it's a PG programming and you're promoting like alcoholic beverages. I just think that's funny. I don't have a problem with it. I just think it's funny. Anyway, but yeah, the advertisements, the shit, that's a whole different fucking mess. But at the end of the day, man, it's Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley that has that creative pen, man. So where this dude is at he's at Indiana Pacer games, right? He's on all the podcasts, he's on all the commercials, right? To where this dude can't just sit down for 5 seconds and just put pen to paper and put good creative storytelling, bro. And it's a shame. It's a shame to where, like,
he's not the one. He's not the one.
He's not, bro.
He's not the one, man.
He's not the one. Thank you, bro.
Not to write the stories. No.
Absolutely not. No. And it's been that, listen, I got to that conclusion a long time ago that I'm sure you have, Brian.
It's taken me a little bit longer, but yeah,
and for a lot of people, I'm sure it has as well. But Brian, again, I'm just so glad that people are finally starting to wake up and understand, like, wow, damn, maybe Triple H is not as creative as I thought he was. I'm like, you think, bro? I've been saying this shit for 2 fucking years. And it's just like, listen, I get it. He's done some good things every now and then, but now you're starting to see all this guy is good for is the short term. Like, Brian, really think about it, bro. Like, what storyline over the past year outside of Drew and Punk, right? Think of an actual long-term feud that Triple H consistently booked from top to bottom. What is there? Think about it.
For me, I would say I do have to give it to Naomi.
So that's 2, right? So out of all the storylines for, let's say what, for the past 3 years, before TKO, right? Don't give me Bloodline. Don't give me Judgment Day, right? Don't give me all this recycled storylines that he's been doing.
Right.
All right. If you want to go Naomi and Jade, all right, fine. Even though I can make the argument that really wasn't as much long-term storytelling as there really was. Maybe it was good for maybe a month and a half, 2 months, but if you want to give that to them, fine. Okay, that's 1. Outside of that, bro, there's been nothing. There's been absolutely fucking nothing. And that's the problem. And that's the guy that's running everything as far as talent relations, and he is the chief content officer. And this is where we are, man. This is where we are. And we've said it, Brian, before too, that we don't even know if Triple H is even going to be in this situation the next 2, 3 some odd years from now. And maybe it's for the best, but who knows, as far as potentially with Saudi in the future. We're hearing about Vince McMahon coming back. Who the fuck knows what this fucking company is going to be in fucking 2 to 3 years. But it sucks. I mean, guys, this product sucks, man. It really is so bad. So look, you got the R-Truth situation. You can make something out of that if WWE is going to put their pride aside.
You have a choice: either do the right thing or be petty.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what I'll also give him credit for? And it's not really credit to Triple H, but the other storyline was The Rock. When The Rock with Cody Rhodes for WrestleMania 40, that at least gave it some sort of pulse going into, and that wasn't really mainly Triple H. It was Brian Gerwitz and The Rock that took control of that entire storyline. So I can't really give Triple H that much credit outside of just approving it. So yeah, if you want to give him Naomi and Jade, all right, that's fair. Punk and Drew, okay, fair, cool. It was for a bracelet. It was simplistic. It was good. All right, then what else? There's been nothing. There's been nothing else, bro. Nothing for hardly for the women, right? Again, outside of Jade and Naomi, right? Freaking Chad Gable and Otis that had potential. Went absolutely nowhere, right? You have Karrion Kross and the Wyatt Six. Could have been badass.
Karrion Kross, Wyatt Six. I can't even get me started on those. Yeah. I mean, Jesus.
And just so much shit, bro, that Triple H has stopped and goed in this company, man. It's horrible. It's
Street Profits.
The Street Profits.
New Day.
The New Day heel turn with Big E that went absolutely nowhere. It's bad, bro. This guy either is so inept or he just doesn't care enough. It's just one of the fucking two. And that's where we're at, man, unfortunately. So with Jey Uso, look, I'll leave it at this because I know we're almost 2 hours into the show. But listen, man, if you're a Jey Uso fan, if you're unhappy about him losing this title, I hear you. Trust me, if I was a Jey Uso fan, I'd be upset too. But understand that, man, that this is just the honest truth, and some people will take it, that you can take it however you want to. If you look at numbers, if you look at the metrics outside of just the house, right, and him pleasing the house and the crowd in attendance, if you look at the people watching from home, nobody has come back to watch the show on a weekly basis with Jey Uso as the world champion. He has not gotten the ratings up. He has not been moving the needle. You tried, it fell flat on your face, and it didn't work. And now you move on. It's as simple as that. And that's as honest as I can put it. Once again, 4 letters, 1 word, over. Move on. That is going to do it for today's episode, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another edition of the Ruthless Talk podcast. Once again, make sure you guys stay tuned for some more content coming your way this week. We do have a lot of stuff coming up with as far as pay-per-views. There's a lot of counter programming for both WWE and AEW. We got AEW All In. You got a freaking Saturday Night's Main Event. You got frickin' an Evolution pay-per-view, which I'm sure we'll try to talk about. We do have Night of Champions at the end of this month, which we will find a day to do a said review show on for that PLE, and a bunch of other stuff, as well as for AEW. We do got some AEW content to share with you guys as well. Nothing for this week, though. However, we will get a Sports Corner review. So we will get your weekly Sports Corner episode coming this week, but no AEW Dynamite review this week because, of course, scheduling on both me and Brian's end. So there won't be anything, at least for AEW. You might get some stuff on social media. So, of course, you see the banner down below. Make sure you guys check us out on social media, Instagram and TikTok. That is Ruthless_Talk. Once again, thank you to everybody who has liked, who has followed, subscribed, smash that like button, subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the platform, for tuning into the community. And as always, stay tuned for more content to come. Brian, final thoughts before we end this show.
Ron Killings, man, and people pay attention to the how WWE mirrors reality, man. And again, just in WWE, the fans, man, we really could have a revolution if we pulled our heads out of our asses. We really could.
Absolutely, bro. Very well said. That is going to do it for today's episode, everybody. My name is James Porcelli.
I'm Brian Thomas.
Until next time, there will be a next time. Your boys are signing off saying salute.
Peace out.
And take care, everybody. Top guys, we are out.